Hello humans extraterrestrials. So today I'm going to be talking to you about my April reading wrap up. I wanted to add on that I'm going to add a little segment to these videos. Nothing major, but I just thought that you'll no. Just wait until the end of all the normal stuff I do and you will find out, I guess. So we're going to start with the books I did read. I read 6 books this month, which I'm taking as a win. That's pretty good for me. Considering I read 2 books in January, which is great start to the year. I'm usually like 4 or 5, but 6 is pretty good for me. So we're just gonna go through them in not quite order because, well, I'll show you. I read this month, wrong way around, the first 2 books in the Infernal Devices trilogy. I gave these both 5 stars. I thought they were both fantastic. I didn't read them like immediately after one another. I mean, I picked them up when they were done, but I read multiple books at a time, so I finished other things before them, but I thought it would just be easier to talk about them together, so I found them both fantastic. I love this universe. I love all of, I don't know, I love the Shadowhunters universe, and I love my hairs doing my nutting. I love the Shadowhunters universe, and I love oh goodness, I love the characters, and I love recurring characters. There's some recurring characters in here from the original, and I missed them a lot, and I'll give you some names actually, some characters that come back. Magnus Bane, Ragnar Fell, icons, love them. There's some ones that are not so nice, but I say come back, this is a prequel kind of, but that's not the point. They are also in these books and I love them. I thought the character development was really interesting. My only critique was the love triangle, but I knew that going in, and I love this universe too much to really care anymore about love triangles because there's always a love triangle in a Cassie Clare book, but I thought this was fantastic. I did. I thought these were fantastic. I think I'm going to do a book talk of the trilogy when I finish reading it, but I've only done the first 2 books right now, so I can't do that yet. Woo, okay. Yeah, 5 stars for them both. The next book that I read was a booktube classic, some may say, and that is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. I finally flipping read them. I've owned these books for a long time, and I finally read the first one, and I think I gave this 4 stars going in, but that was mostly out of hesitation of like, don't give this such a typical game a book of 5 stars. I don't care. We're giving it 5 stars because I thought it was fan-flipping-tastic. I love this book. I never understood where the appeal came from for like oh, they're just fighting, that's not interesting. But I read like a lot of fantasy and like I play D&D and stuff, and that's such a fun part of it all. Like I love that stuff. So yeah, 5 stars. I thought the character development was really interesting. My only critique was Katniss being very oblivious to Peeta when she's like such an intelligent girl, but like she just somehow missed. Like there's a scene in this book that it's not really, I guess, kind of spoilers, but also it's been 12 years. But there's a scene in which Katniss is like, or no, there's like the whole guise of like Katniss and Peeta are like super in love, like on stage for the show, right? But there's a scene where they're alone and there's no cameras on or anything, and Peeta's like really nice to her, and she's like, what? But we're only supposed to be acting. There must be a reason for this, but he's only supposed to be acting and being nice to me when we're on camera, huh? And it's like, girl, he likes you, chill out. Like how she didn't see that, I have no idea, but you know, I don't really care. I think this series is fantastic. So yeah, 5 stars. The next I read was technically a graphic novel, and that is Volume 1 of Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. These books are so cute. They're really cute. These books, if you're unaware, are the story of 2 boys named Charlie and Nick who they're going to school together. They're like 2 years apart, I think. Yeah, they're like 16 and 18 or 15 and 7. No. Like 14 and 16 maybe in this universe, something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But they're like teens falling in love, basically. And Nick is like big in the rugby team, and Charlie like has a crush on him and everything, and it's really sweet. But I gave it 4 stars, not 5, just because I don't know. I think with the graphic novel, and I was listening to the Books Unbound podcast, and I really related to the way Ariel said it, which was like Ariel or the other girl, I can't remember, but someone said it on it that was like, you feel a real disconnect reading graphic novels, and this obviously it's not super disconnect because the facial expressions are so like, let me find one. There's one I just saw. Like, ignore all the words if you don't want to be spoiled, but like Charlie's wee face in this particular one, like there's literally like 5 lines, but you can tell so much from it. But I don't know, I felt a bit of a disconnect just because I do with graphic novels, and also I don't know, I don't have the huge connection to it that so many people do, and I don't know why, but I still thought it was fantastic. It just wasn't like, oh my god, this is amazing, I need to read all the new ones now. I mean, I'm still going to buy volumes 2 and 3, but I'm not going to, I don't know, I think people have big, massive hype about them, and I think it's very valid because good gay rep in YA and in comic books is great, and I love it. So this is very valid and good, and I love it. Okay. The next book that I read this month, also Alice Oseman, was Radio Silence by Alice Oseman. This book is the story of a girl called Frances, a girl called Frances who's like, she's basically trying really hard to get into uni, but in her free time, the very little free time she has, she does fan art and stuff for this sort of very Welcome to Night Vale-esque podcast called Universe City. Great puns. And she does fan art for this stuff, and then she meets this guy she's known this guy called Alid for a very long time, and she meets him and they kind of become friends, and they basically learn together about, what does school actually mean? Do they like school? All this stuff, and it's just so good. The male-female friendship just throughout the whole book. Like, there's a line very early in, on page, why are there not pages? Page numbers 85. There's a little something before they continue, but it's basically like, hey, this is not a love story before you think it is, and I really appreciated that, because it's like, there's so many straight romances, and if they're done well, they're great, but male-female friendship is not a thing in a lot of YA, and I miss it, and I love it, and I'm glad it was good in this, and just such a goddamn good book, man. Good book, man. And the last book I read this month, I don't have a physical copy of, I read it on ebook, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Finally. If you are somehow unaware, this is a story of basically a wizard who goes to a magical school, who finds out he's a kid who finds out he's a wizard and goes to a magical school, and shenanigans ensue. If you're somehow on this planet watching a booktube video and don't know what Harry Potter is, but I finally read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. It's one of those things that I don't know how I didn't read Harry Potter as a kid. You would have thought it would have been one of the first books I wanted to buy, but I watched the films and then I kind of didn't, like, I don't know, like, I never really had a thing to specifically go to read them because I knew everything about the fandom by that time I felt like I was too old to read them, which is dumb because I was like 13, which is prime time for reading Harry Potter. But like, we're here now in lockdown, we can't leave the house, so I'm just going to try and get my way through as many of the Harry Potter books as I can. I gave it 5 stars because, it's Harry Potter. It's Harry Potter. It's fantastic. Of course it was great. It was one of those books that it took me a while because I don't know, when I don't have a physical version, I kind of forget I have ebooks sometimes. Like, I forget I have them, but it was very much like I need to read right now, but I don't know what to read. Like, it's like a comfort read thing for me. When I was sitting, I was like, I want to read, but my brain just won't work. I just read a chapter of Harry Potter, and I felt great about it, because we love Harry Potter in this house. Okay, next I'm going to talk to you about the books I unhauled and DNFed. I'm going to talk about this really quickly. I unhauled 4 books, DNFed 3, and we're just going to go through them by name super quickly, because I don't want to shed light on that. But yeah, so I DNFed Frankenstein about a third of the way through, not because I wasn't liking it, but because it was like, Frankenstein by Mary Shelley is in the original, you know, the best and all that. I DNF'd it just because I was reading it, being forced to read it, basically, not forced, but I was reading it for something, and that led me to kind of not enjoy it a lot. And also, again, I had the ebook, I couldn't get a physical copy of it in time, and that, you know, sullied my experience of it, but I'm going to read it at some point. Also, Librarian of Auschwitz, stopped it because it was too heavy for me at the time. I DNF'd that. Librarian of Auschwitz by Antonio Iturbe, I think. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but something like that. And Noughts and Crosses, which I listened to in the audiobook, because the TV show based on this book by Mallory Blackman came out a little while ago, after Christmas, and I wanted to watch the show, but I realised it was a book, so I wanted to read the book first, or at least the first one, so I could get like a feel. But I couldn't get my hands on a physical copy, and for some reason the library, my ebook library that's connected to my library, only had the audiobook version. They didn't have like a ebook version, so I had to listen to the audiobook, and it just didn't fit with me. So yeah, I just ended up DNFing it. And the 4 that I unhauled, I don't remember all the authors because I literally don't have them anymore, which is Orphan X, which is like a spy kid kind of thing. Not like Spy Kids, as in like it's a kid who is a spy, like KGBS kind of sad thing, who's trying to escape from stuff, I'm pretty sure. Small Great Things by Jodi Pickle, which is I don't really know how to describe it, but it was just, I remember trying to read it a long time ago and it felt a bit heavy for me, and I gave it to my mother, basically. That's that. Cut by Mark Raab, which is like a very typical thriller that I just sort of picked up on a whim because it was on offer, and The Keeper of Lost Things, which is also like an on-offer book, so I never really was going to get around to it anyway. So yeah, that was me trying very quickly to get through my DNF and unhauled, and now onto the books that I bought in the month of April. I bought 2 months? I bought 2 books in April. One of them was for school, and one of them was just for fun. So the one that I just got for funsies, we're going to see. I've got to try and pronounce this name. This is Akwakiamezi Pet by Akwakiamezi. I'm so sorry. My pronunciation is pretty bad for even like English names, so God knows. But yeah, this is a book that I've heard fantastic things about. This is a middle grade about a girl called Lucille who basically lives in like a kind of, I guess magical realism is what you'd call it. It's like magical realism, I guess. It's a universe in which monsters used to exist like hundreds or thousands of years ago, but they're like gone now. And then she starts seeing monsters, and like she knows they're back, but no adult that she tells will believe her. And one of the taglines is like, how do you save the world from monsters if no one will admit they exist? And if that doesn't get you to read a book, I don't know what does. That's a fantastic premise, and I'm so excited about it. I saw Cece from Problems of a Book Nerd talking about it, and now I'm just really want to read it, man. I'm really excited about it. It's really short too, so it probably won't take me very long to get through, and it's middle grade, so pages there's not a lot of words, so it's just really excited, man. Really excited. And the other one I bought, which I think I'm also equally excited about, is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I got this, which firstly, can we talk about how pretty this spine is? This is such a nice copy of this book. Thank you, Penguin English Library. This is, if you are somehow unaware, a book about 4 sisters, the March sisters, I believe. Yes, the 4 March sisters. Basically just growing up. It's like a tale of family and, I was going to say family and feminism. Family and like and women and female strength is the word that's used to describe on the back of this. I bought this because I need it for my school stuff, but also it's Little Women. Come on, man. You know, like it's a beloved classic, and I'm very excited to finally gosh darn read it. It doesn't look very much. It's like 500 pages long. 500, because they're like very thin. 566 pages long, so it's gonna take me some time, but God is it pretty, and I'm excited. Okay, again, quickly, the books that I am currently reading. Firstly, I'm still listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama, which is her memoir, and I'm still finding it fantastic, but it's taking me a while because it's like 20 hours long. So, yeah, that's still going. I am reading Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen again, these are going to both be very important in my English stuff, so I'm reading this. I am trying to get my way to finishing the Infernal Devices trilogy, so here's the last book in that, and I'm excited. I'm like 220 pages through, so I'm like a third of the way through or something, which is fun. And A Work in Progress by Connor Franta, which is his memoir from like 2015, so a lot's changed since then, but it's still, you know, I'm like still interested, because I bought this a long while ago and I still want to read it. And there's coffee stains. And this is something I didn't realize until I opened the book literally like last week when I started reading it. The book's like this, right? But it has Dutch doors and it's on the inside, so if you fold it over, that's so smart. I'm so, like, I don't know if I'm just an idiot, but that to me is like really cool. That's really damn cool. Anyway, yes, that is all my normal bookish stuff. So if you don't care about a little extra thing that I'm going to be doing every month, you know, maybe listen to what I have to say, and then if you hate it, you can leave now. Bye now. But the last thing I'm going to do is, a lot of people on the booktube, in the booktube community, do like a monthly TBR. I can't do that because I have no idea. I just kind of look at my bookshelf and look at the ones that are turned, and I'm like, what one do I want to read today? Because I don't know, I can't stick to a TBR, so I don't tend to set them. Like even for the Owls, I didn't stick to them. I've only read 4 books for the Owls, and they weren't the ones I planned to do. So like, you know, but I'm planning on, instead of doing like a whole TBR video, because I wouldn't stick to it and it would just show you how many books I have that I'm not going to read, and that's not fun for anyone. I'm going to give you, at the end of each video, 1 book that I would like to get read, if not this, or I guess next month, as soon as possible. I just want to get this book read pretty soon because I'm excited about it. And for this, I guess for the month of March, for May, book I want to get read in May is The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. This is a classic sci-fi alien invasion story written by H.G. Wells, genius. And I am so excited. I bought this at Christmas. This was a thing I bought with my own Christmas money, and the fact that I've somehow not read it is insane. It's, again, also not very long. It's, how many pages long? Also, plus it's a floppy book, so that's good. But it's also only 189 pages, so it's not going to take me very long to get through. But yeah, by the end of May, hopefully, I will have read The War of the Worlds. So, if not, you can call me out. It's fine. I'll also be calling me out. I'll probably, if I keep doing this, probably be like, oh, and also that book that I said I was going to read, I did or I didn't. So yeah. Thank you. That is all I have today. I have here's my big old, we'll see if I can do it, book pile thing. I suck at it, but we're going to see what my book pile looks like. Very tall. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. You know what to do. Thank you so much for I can't speak today. If you like this video, you know what to do. Please remember to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and peace out, I guess.